Yeah, man, that's it. What
So,
else do we have for the fans today?
so this is part 2, because that was 40 minutes.
Oh,
So, oh damn, I didn't go after this.
oh,
We'll do it now. This little Joker
go
comic.
now, yeah.
Aren't you worried he'll escape? Not after what they're gonna do to him in there.
No, that's terrible, man. It's fucked up, man. It's a terrible joke. Come on, Batman. You should save him. Thought Batman was for justice.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, it has come to my attention that apparently GunZ the Duel has been placed on Steam as coming soon by developer and publisher Masangsoft, which I believe they hold the rights to. And this tweet here got a lot of traction. 2.3 million views from Cypher PK. A childhood game of mine, GunZ the Duel 2003, was way ahead of its time. Servers have been offline since 2011, and it just recently got added to Steam as coming soon. I really hope they don't mess this up. I would be so excited to play it again. So, what's funny about GunZ the Duel is that, yes, he's right, it was really ahead of its time. One of the most technical third-person shooters to exist. Like, there are so many little cancels and hitbox things you need to know about playing this game. And the game apparently has been blowing up on TikTok. Apparently.
Why?
I don't know how much, but apparently the Zoomers either enjoy watching the clips or they pop up, or I don't really know what the correlation is. But this user says, he would enjoy playing again. You can already play again. There's a lot of private servers. There's F-Guns. There's iGuns, which I'm a member of. It's not as active, but the code base that the game uses is the 1.0 code base, which they modified. So there aren't as many dropped inputs from the 2.0 code base. The 2.0 code base, for me personally, feels horrible. I know, like, this footage is probably from the 2.0 code base where these players, they're not really having much issues with the game. They're playing it just fine. But personally, I don't like how it feels, personally. But yeah, this is a game I played when I was very young. I wouldn't show up to school. I'd just be at home playing this game. As the servers began to die and I got better at the game, I'll say maybe I was like top 400 kind of player at the time, maybe. I don't want to say, I was the best player ever. Blah, blah, blah. And at the time, we experienced a lot of what people would consider now to be extremely toxic. Like the types of things you see League of Legends players...
What do you mean toxic, bro?
The types of things you see League of Legends players crying about. Like people smurfing and like all this other shit and like...
But why?
Teabagging and taunting and laughing and shit talking. Like this game, there was no voice chat. It wasn't like a Call of Duty situation, but there was text chat, okay. And people would say like some really, disrespectful stuff to each other.
Yeah,
and the smurfing element of the game was a real problem because obviously, if you just load this game up for the first time, you're not going to be bouncing off the walls like this. You're going to be rolling around, stuck in a long animation, wondering how to flip around, but you can't. And some guy who's your level is like flipping around the map like this, dashing around, shooting you, hitting you. You can't land a shot on him. He's fucking killing you. And then he goes over to your corpse, and then he does the crying emote.
Oh my god.
So... this game was not only for, people who were very dexterity, inclined, could press a lot of buttons, understood a lot of timings, knew how to aim
a lot
relatively
of button
well.
canceling, as you
But
say.
you also had to have, a very strong mind for all the shit talking and all the pressure that would be placed on you, especially when you get into like the clan war events, high pressure competitive situations.
Clan wars.
But yeah, this game was ahead of its time in a lot of ways. It wasn't initially developed to be this way. It was just a very casual sort of third-person shooters where you could do like a what were the gun fu movies called? Who was the director for those type of movies back in the day? It was like a very specific term. The John Woo,
yeah.
type, action type, running on the walls like the Matrix, doing a flip in the air, kind of slow, that type of stuff. This game had like all these. Everything you're seeing here is a glitch essentially. There's a lot of cancels that were, accidentally placed here, and they try to fix some of them, when they shouldn't have, and what they ended up doing was kind of ruining the game via the 2.0 code base, which kind of sucks. And that's what I assume the Steam version is going to be. It's going to be running on that 2.0 code base. Hopefully not. Hopefully, hopefully this game sees an actual respectable resurgence, and hopefully they add some new features in there. Hopefully it's not a pile of garbage. Hopefully they find a player base. There was GunZ 2, which was released, same company released this game.
Yeah.
And it was a pile of garbage. A lot of people, played it competitively. There were some elements that were still, technical and difficult, but a lot of people hated this game, me included. I did not like this. And a big problem with the game's longevity in the West was the fact that the matchmaking required a full stack of players, essentially. You needed 10 players to initiate a match, just like your Overwatches and your League of Legends. Yeah. You gotta wait until the queue fills up and then play. GunZ didn't have this problem. The first GunZ, it was open lobbies. You just make a room. Whoever joins can play. You could sit in there by yourself, practicing your jumping, practicing your triple butterfly, whatever the fuck. And someone would join and you'd fight them, and you'd have someone to play with. And then someone would hop on and see there's 2 players in the room, and then they would join. And then over time, your room fills up, and then you can have this sort of 4v4 or 8v8, multiplayer experience. So GunZ 2 kind of really failed in this aspect.
So people were always playing GunZ, right?
There was a large...
So people were always playing GunZ, right?
Feel free to cut me off. There was a large player base when the servers were still online. It went from, when I started playing, it was like 5,000 players in one server, and it was capped. And then there was 2 other servers that were at like half capacity, I'll say. And then over the years, those numbers dropped so dramatically because there was, like I said, the toxic element was probably the worst of it, but there was also a pay-to-win element of the game. So
that's unfortunate.
If you paid like $10 a month or so, you'd have access to some really good healing items. And if you paid, a flat like $10, you'd have access to a really good armor set that was better than what you had in the base game. And a lot of people, back in the day especially, they weren't going to put money into an online game like that. You had the MMO subscription type stuff back then, but this was like pay to win, which is a completely different beast entirely. Like you're playing the game for the first time and you shoot this guy 100 times and he doesn't die, and you're like, what the hell? Why can't I kill him? And then you figure out he's got twice as much armor as I do.
Yeah. That sucks. Yeah.
But it was a majority of the game was a skill-based game.
Doesn't that lead to the death of gaming in general? Over time,
pay to win.
All these players that are constantly paying to win.
Not
No, because the
necessarily.
logo
I think the game could have survived had it not been for the fact that the veteran players would find the new players, make a Smurf character. You don't even have to change your account. You just go to character select, make a new character, and then you could join the lower lobbies and just shit on new players and just kill them. Like, they stood no chance because you probably have, you know, premium stuff on your account that you can use, and you probably have also the skill that you've acquired playing the game. And a third problem the game had was, unfortunately, hackers. There's a lot of hackers back then.
Oh, that sucks.
So the game died so rapidly that it kind of hindered its growth. The community was toxic towards each other. The pay-to-win aspects that the company was like implementing into the game, and then you've got hackers making the situation all that much worse. Like, you're just casually playing the game, and all of a sudden you hear giant explosions with like triggering, overlapping each other, and then you turn around like, what the fuck is that noise? And you're just dead because some guy is like spamming like charged attacks like in an array over your body, just running through the map.
What the fuck?
Yeah, so, you know, the game had a lot of things going against it at the time. So what I hope for this, you know, re-release is that I hope they actually have some actual like protections for new players. Like like if I hop on and my actions per minute reaches a certain number, kick me out of that new player room. Like, just kick me out.
Oh shit! Why?
Because if you don't have a check in place to see if players are using advanced techniques in these lower level lobbies, like, these players are gonna like they're not gonna enjoy playing the game. Like, it's like a multiple thing. Like, if I have like a insane kill death ratio, and I'm also doing these advanced techniques, like, it's not going to be fun for the new player who doesn't understand what's going on. Like, I try to get people to play with me, like my family, like, oh, play this game with me, it's a fun game. And they'd be like, you know, this is stupid, you're just jumping all over the place and I can't hit you.
Yeah.
And that's the appeal of it, you know, that's the appeal of it. And it's an acquired taste, but it's also the fact that it takes time and practice to get to that level of expertise, so to speak. I don't think it's an impossibly hard game, you know? I think it does take a lot of, you know, time to learn stuff.
It's just hard to understand, you know. I like you said, it's an acquired taste. I think maybe you have to be familiar with some type of games.
The game could do really well if they like have a lot of new systems around the core gameplay that kind of addresses a lot of the problems it has. Like some good co-op modes. Like, there is co-op in the game, but it's not great. Like some good co-op modes, some better like cooperation elements maybe, and like just protect the new players really. And like, I hate the fact that I play a new game or like a modern game and I say a bad word and then the fucking game, like, I get kicked and shit and all that, like I get punished for being an asshole. Like, I don't like that shit. So, you know, give people the option to like mute chat and shit like that, like just stuff like that. You don't gotta go crazy. You don't gotta put people in jail in the game or whatever. Modern games do.
Yeah, it sucks, man. I mean, if you can play the game, that's nice. I thought GunZ wasn't just available at all, but the way you made it seem like, you know, GunZ has always been available. You know, you just had to be in the know, I guess. I guess just to bring in new players, like you were saying. You know, at least that's what they're hoping to accomplish.
Here's iGunZ. Right now, 0 players online. What people do in these servers is that they organize kind of like times that people are going to be on and play each other. Because, you know, it is very much, you know, it's not an active server, but like I said, it's using that 1.0 code base, which people really love. So, you know, this is where the serious matches happen. Like, this is, you know what I mean?
Yeah, okay, I see.
And then you have Freestyle GunZ or F GunZ, which is probably the most popular one from what I understand. and there's a large South American audience too.
Yeah, the Brazilians are known for keeping those older games alive. Definitely.
Look at this guy, level 99 Israeli who has 12,000 hours.
Wait, he's from Israel and he's a level 99?
Yeah.
They're playing this game in Israel? What the fuck?
It's crazy, man. This game's crazy. So yeah, if you're interested, in guns, I'd say, check out this server. Your computer's going to tell you it's a virus. It says here there's 200 players online right now. Check it out. See if you like it. It's a fun game. Even if you just play with a few buddies, kind of kick back, mess around, try and do some advanced techniques. Like, they're not impossible. You can learn some of this stuff pretty early. It's just more of a muscle memory thing when it comes to this game. But yeah,
dexterity and so forth.
That's my rant on guns.
It seems like a good rant, I mean, I hope that the game does have a successful comeback, and hopefully it does bring in some new players. It says that it's coming soon to scene right now. So I hope everything turns out well, for the Guns family and the Guns community.
Let's
and so forth.
Let's read some of this about the game. Alternative action shooter Guns Online. Although it may look similar, Guns Online has elements that completely distinguish it from other FPS games. Well, it's not FPS. So. Shooting and action.
Yeah, that's weird. Why would they say
Guns is more about the feeling of action than shooting. Various actions are possible, reminiscent of console games and movies. This includes many actions such as dashing, jumping on walls, tumbling, hanging on walls, multi-step wall jumping, and combos using blades and firearms. Experience new strategic gameplay. Each battle takes place not only on the ground, but also on walls and pillars. Use different actions to stand on, run around, or even swiftly jump over them. Play with various characters. Guns does not end with the provided characters. Equip yourself with various outfits and items to suit your taste, and make your personality pop. As you change and equip weapons, items, your character's appearance will change accordingly. In addition to outfits and accessories, you can also selectively use weapons with different patterns, just like your outfit. Why is it making this sound like a fashion game?
I have no idea. Listen, you told me this was a good game. All right.
Guns
so I'm trying to understand what
Guns is an action RPG. What?
What was it an action RPG?
That goes beyond the limited elements of simply leveling up and introduces various and fun role-play elements to the game, such as cooperative quests, where you hunt down huge and powerful bosses with your chosen team. Yeah, there were some fucking people in this game who never did the PvP and only did the PvP, and they were like fucking weird masters of their own fucking right. Like, they could solo these fucking insanely annoying fucking bosses with all these enemies. But let me see if I can pull that up real quick. And they never interacted with the PvP, and they were just like, yeah, fuck that. I'm here to kill bosses.
I'm here to kill bosses. So they were nasty in their own right. They were really top players.
Let me see if I can fucking pull this up. Like, some guy would just run around with only a sword, just like killing these fucking bosses with these insane hitboxes. Like, if you come close to these fucking skeletons, they'll just fucking hit you and take a quarter of your life away. So that's why you'll see a lot of people kiting and shit, running away. But there were these fucking people who just fucking... Look at this. You got all these fucking projectiles and shit. All these fucking mobs chasing you. And there's a fucking guy, like, doing this all melee. Like, what? Like, how, bro? Like, this shit... Like, not only that, like, look at the health of the boss. Look at the health. That shit ain't going down fast.
Skill issue, bro. You're not nice enough like him.
Look how slow that health is going down for this boss.
That is kind of crazy.
You got people fucking doing it all melee. Like, some of these guys are insane. But yeah, that's enough with the guns rant.
Seems like a good game. Seems like a good game.
It was very fun. It's awesome. I think a lot of games could take elements from it and, kind of put it in there. So what are we talking about first here? Street Fighter or Marvel 2? I think the Street Fighter one is shorter, I guess.
How long do you want this to be? How long do you want this to be? You
we already did a 40-minute Joker episode, and now we're 20 minutes into this one. Let's do the let's throw this on the back burner once again. Let's do the Marvel stuff.
All right, we'll do the Marvel stuff.
So where should I start here?
You can start wherever the fuck you want. I found this event very fucking problematic. Fuck this whole entire event, all right? And I'm going to tell you why right now, okay? Because it's obvious that they only had this event so Maximilian could get fucking paid. I don't want to hear none of this shit, all right? This whole Twitch rivals things, all right? I know the production team got paid. I know the commentators got paid, all right? I know Maximilian got paid. I know the white girl got paid. But what about the players? They was a top 8 payout, you know, but in reality, the players in general should have got paid for their performances, you know? They should have got paid prior to this. Because there was over, what they said, it was like 25K people viewing on this on Twitch. You know, it's a pretty big number.
So is this, were there those 4 people just commentating?
No, it was just everybody on their own stream, basically. Everybody was on their own stream, and Maximilian obviously was on the main stream, and then if you wanted to, you could. This is my issue with Twitch rivals. I never understood the purpose of it because there's other streamers that are probably more popular than you in your game. So, like, who's really gaining the real benefit of it? And especially now within like the Marvel vs. Capcom community, Maximilian is trying to make it seem as if he is the sole savior or the sole face of the fucking game, and this guy has never played it competitively in his fucking life. Like, I understand he's an old school dude from like the Family Fun arcade days, you know, but like he was a low tier character. This nigga was a fucking bum, you know.
I think I've recently realized with all this Monster Hunter Wild stuff that there are a lot of people shilling for Capcom.
Shilling, exactly, yes,
and
they're being paid, bro.
It does tie into this Twitch sort of lifestyle where Capcom has been, you know, and credit to Capcom for this, they have been kind of promoting these people with very low view counts. Like, they got like 20 views or something streaming Monster Hunter, and out of nowhere Capcom will put them on like the front page of Twitch, and they'll get like 4,000 viewers or whatever the fuck for a short period of time. And some of it carries over, maybe like less than 1% of those viewers like actually go back and follow that guy and continue up with him. Mm-hmm. But a lot of it just seems like people are desperately trying to gain notoriety from Capcom, you know, bumping them up. Like, all these like random like personalities go to their events, and like you've never heard of these people, and all of a sudden they have like
never heard of these people before.
All of a sudden they're like just talking as if they're knowledgeable, and they're like, "Oh man, I've been playing Monster Hunter for so long. I have like I played Monster Hunter World and only Monster Hunter World or some shit." It's like, "Oh, I started with Monster Hunter 4," and it's like, I never once have I heard any of them saying like they started with Monster Hunter 1 or Monster Hunter 2. Like, there was one guy, only one guy who I've heard fucking say that. A lot of them are like very new people who are just like trying to get that streamer lifestyle, trying to get Capcom to get them to notice them,
to acknowledge them and so forth. Yeah.
And I wonder if this is the same for like Resident Evil and all this shit. Like, I don't know. It just doesn't seem like a genuine environment to me. It just seems like a lot of people just like clout chasing, so to speak.
A lot of them just want to be corporate mouthpieces at the end of the day. To me, this was nothing more than a corporatized event. I don't even think Capcom was aware of it. No, Capcom was streaming it also, but obviously the numbers were so low because people were more fixated on Maximilian. You know, he was the one that really capitalized on this event, you know, in terms of like the stream revenue, you know, the subscriptions and so forth. You know, the only thing that I can really give credit to is that Smooth Viper, you know, like he got rated at the end of the stream. So a lot of the Maximilian people were showing him love. They were subscribing to him, you know, buying some of his products and so forth. So like, that's the only good thing out of it. Like, I understand it, but like at the end of the day, I think all 24 players should have just got paid from the fucking beginning because they're performing for these motherfuckers at the end of the day. Maximilian is not a part of the community. Well, you know, and there were other there were other players that were vocal about this, you know.
Yeah, these people are like chasing that. Hopefully, you know, raid my stream and I'll get all these followers and all this shit. And it's like,
yeah, these followers and shit. Yeah.
It's like, oh, they didn't pay me, dude. I'm not shilling. I'm not paid. It's like, yeah, but you're getting all these like followers. You're getting attention. You're like trying to build this weird relationship via this game, but you don't know anything about it. You're just here like. Yeah, I'm not saying that Smooth Viper doesn't know anything about it. Like clearly, obviously, he does.
No, and that's no shade to any of the players, obviously. And this was just other people outside of the spectrum that were just noticing a couple of things. They were questioning certain things, like why is Maximilian presenting himself as if the face of the event? And it's funny that he had Justin Wong and Yipes, as the commentators, and these two are considered, some of the top players, if not the best players in the game. Like Maximilian is not better than them. So how does he know more about Marvel than these two motherfuckers? So it's funny to me.
I wonder how much sales
implications.
I wonder how much sales Maximilian generates for Capcom on average.
and you're absolutely correct. That's a very good question, because he probably is a part of it, and that's why they're constantly using him as a face. And he's a brand name at the end of the day. And his brand name is stronger than Justin Wong's and Yipes, especially in today's current gaming environment.
Dude,
it's just
wow.
The truth. He's not a player. He's just a guy that just fucking reacts. Like, I'm sorry.
He opens his mouth and noises come out. People go,
yeah, noises come out. Yeah.
He could be shaving his balls on stream. People will be watching him.
And it's fucked up because there's no hate on Max, because Max makes over $2 million on Twitch. I respect the hustle. I'm not mad at it, but it does come problematic when you start giving these people certain power over the community. And like we voiced at least me, not my co-host. I voiced my concern, in prior episodes, especially what's happening with the MVCI and Beyond project. Like how he got started with that. It's like
I don't mind anyone making money off a game and like getting popular off a game. What I mind is like when they're like disingenuous and they're like positioning or like pretending that they're like huge, fans or they've been playing this shit for like forever.
No, yeah, that is the issue.
Like you're like essentially a tourist.
So, their voice becomes the strongest, and then they could be the ones to make changes to the game.
Influence the audience.
Yeah, influence developers and everything. Yeah, that's the problem. That's what we were trying to avoid.
It's like if I were to go to like the GunZ discussion, like if I were to go like, oh guys, GunZ is so good, you should play it, and it's not toxic at all, and it's a very healthy game, and you won't experience any troubles at all. Come play GunZ, come buy GunZ, it's good for you. It's all of it. Everything I just said is like not true at all. It's like that kind of shit. Like I fucking hate. And like I don't criticize GunZ at all, and I don't criticize whatever the fuck. It's just disingenuous, That's the part I don't like.
Disingenuous, like it's not a problem. Top 8 got paid out. That's fine. Top 8 got paid out. Not all 24 players. In my eyes, for the performances, like all 24 players should have got fucking paid initially at least a little something. Throw a nigga a fucking check, bro. Like, this is an old ass game. Y'all not a part of the community.
A bottle.
Most people, buy the nigga a bottle or something. Most people play on the Dreamcast. Like, even now, even though the new collection is out, most top players still prefer the Dreamcast and everything. Like the level it takes to play this fucking game. Like, stop playing yourself. Like, it's fucked up. Like all these other, like when they reach out to these esport players, they have to pay the manager and the team before they do anything on Twitch. So why they couldn't do it here? Oh, it's because they're not sponsored. That's why. I see. It's fucked up. So they was able to circumvent that.
Oh, they were saying it's not like it's not a real sponsored event. Is that what it was?
Yeah, because he was saying that they just came up with this on the fly, and everything really quick. And it's just like nah, nigga, because if these were sponsored players,
you knew you wanted to have some kind of event at some point, and then you don't actually support the event as you should.
Yeah, as you should. Yeah, trying to make it seem like you support the community. You don't support the community. You support yourself. You support your community, the people that pay you, that buy your fucking toys and your fucking mugs and your T-shirts and your tickets and everything. And that's fine.
Look at this.
I respect it. Oh, godlike. could not properly sync with opponent exiting game. Godlike. This is why we play on Dreamcast.
No, you don't understand. It's perfect. Nothing's wrong with it. That's how we play the game now.
And obviously, I could scream so much more, but like it's just, I'm just disgusted, And there were other players that were voicing their opinions in other Twitch chats and so forth. So it's just, I just had to let it out there, guys. Look at Super Saiyan Justin Wong.
They're entitled to their
look at Yipes.
opinions,
Look, and many people have said it. Many people have said it. If you actually watch this tournament, Yipes looks so out of place. Like this was just because it was just Maximilian and Yipes talking over. I mean, Maximilian and Justin Wong talking over Yipes. That's it. Like Yipes was just there.
Wow, dude.
And the only reason why I'm saying that is because anybody that's knowledgeable knows that Justin Wong, Maximilian dude, and I believe Matt McMuscles have a show, a podcast on YouTube. So it was very interesting to me that both of them were talking over Yipes.
Dunkin'
and,
Donuts, State Farm, Intel, AT&T, Mythwalker, Honda.
Yeah, look at all this. Yeah, look at all the sponsorships there, and you couldn't throw a buck to the players. Really, only top 8. Like I understand, top 8 they got paid a couple of bands. Some of them got paid maybe $100. It's fine, but like everybody should have got paid for their performances because, like as I mentioned before, if they were dealing with actual sponsored esport players, they would have had to pay everyone. The manager would have had to got fucking paid. The team would have had to got fucking paid. This would have not have been actually free.
Normally,
but because none of these players are actually sponsored,
like at a big tournament like an Evo, was it like top 32 they get paid, or is it top 16?
Top 16, I believe. It was a top 8, top 16, something like that. Or I think it's only top 8.
They got a few followers on Twitch. That's a nice pay that they get. I don't know, man.
Yeah, that's fucked up. What, a few followers and everything? Like I get it, the whole thing. And even that's messed up to me, And the fact that you gotta force the people to watch your stream and all this other stuff to get like the real payout. Like, yo, Twitch, y'all could have paid us. Ain't y'all niggas owned by Amazon? Jeff Bezos stole some money over here. It was fucked up. I'm just saying, That's just me. Very disingenuous event. Shouts out to Bill Wellman. I will say that Bill Wellman with a wonderful performance against G Concepts. Can you put on Grand Finals? Actually, let's review that at least. Go all the way to Grand Finals, the beginning of Grand Finals, not the reset. No. You're going to the interview of Bill Wellman. Look at Bill Wellman. His old ass. No, you're skipping it. Why are you skipping everything? Fucking guys skipping everything.
Smooth Viper.
And Team 3 Arcade. No, this is no. It was a G Concepts versus Team 3 Arcade. Let me see. Yeah, this is it right here. Yeah, this was Grand Finals, right? This was a wonderful performance. I mean, this is top level at the topless of levels.
Dude.
You have Team MSP versus Team Santhrax. I mean, Bill Wellman has to put the pressure on Team MSP. He has to be very wary of the anti-air that is Psylocke. It's just a wonderful performance by both players here, especially from G Concepts, because he could have done the one-touch kill, but he was unable to. Bill Wellman, he was holding those ancient scrolls. He knew what the fuck to do at that moment. I mean, look at this performance. Oh, my God. Get fucking capped. Get capped. Beautiful. Over. Yeah, it was over. It was a dub after this.
Just when you see Storm be a freaking teammate of a mutant hunter, okay? This is it.
Stupid. Yeah, G Concepts had trouble a lot of the set, but he did have this one moment, this one sparking moment. Hopefully we'll get there. I think this is just still the beginning of Grand Finals. I don't think this is Grand Finals reset. I hope it's not Grand Finals reset.
Skip forward?
No.
It says upper Grand Final. I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means either, but we're fine. We're going to keep watching. Look at this performance. Ooh.
How many players were in this?
24 altogether.
I'm telling you, he swings. And
Yeah, Bill Wellman was swinging this whole fucking tournament, man. He was playing really good. he was playing really, really good. Like he,
Big damage. Oh, bad hail there from G Concept. Bill Wellman is gonna take full blown advantage. I'm loving the dash block. No.
he took control of like the entire spacing, like the entire screen. He knew that he couldn't allow G Concept to advance, you know, because the assist that is Psylocke is just far too powerful, you know, so he had to keep the lockdown on him, you know. That's why G Concepts was questioning, you know, whether or not to counter call, whether to call the Psylocke assist, you know. That's why you see she came in bleeding already, you know. She already lost half her health, you know, because of those responses. Like this was top level at top level. For a lot of people, this is just a lot of mumble jumble, a lot of gargle, you know, because to them is nothing but a lot of guns and nothing but button mashing. But a lot of it is a lot of these scenarios are being taken in consideration. You know,
One more hailstorm, jumping heavy kick seal deal. The priority in her normal.
like all the button pressing is taken into consideration.
So
This
we gotta
is like
get
true top level for him.
we gotta get the Saudis involved to pay these guys. Is that what's happening?
The Saudis,
Because at this point, this game is old, right? It's an old game. All these people are experts at this game, and they're not seeing you know any kind of something come their way. $100 even, something, a little taste. I don't know, man. 15K.
I don't think the Saudi Ravens are gonna get involved,
15 million in Saudi money.
Oh my god.
Interesting choice, actually.
I don't know if the Saudi Ravens are gonna get involved, man.
A lot of teams. Team Row, of course. Yep. Magneto first and
I mean, hopefully those other guys got something out of it. Aside from, you know, the competition and, you know.
Like that, right?
Yeah, some exposure and stuff. You know, there's people that did get follows and everything. Obviously, some subscriptions off the Twitch stuff. You know, but in my eyes, that only does so much. Is what I'm constantly trying to explain to people.
Depending on how this game might turn out.
Oh my god, she almost seen the pearly gates, bro. Did you see the miss on the fly combo?
Yeah, and this was a very questionable change on G Concept's side. I don't know why he chose to go Santhrax versus Santhrax. I think he should have stood with the MSP matchup because he's a little bit more familiar with that. So now that he changed, he had to change the muscle rhythm and so forth.
Dashing heavy kick right there. And also, I mean, G-Con's also a person that doesn't like to cause assists second.
Yeah, like right there, if he would have called out Psylocke, he would have got the other hit, you know. But yeah, it's a lot of things. A lot of things are being questioned.
Well, anything else for the fine people?
Yo, this is high level, guys.
Because I know this
was a wonderful.
This is not a gameplay analysis video. I kind of just realized we're just here kind of watching this. And maybe people who are just listening or at work or something are kind of like, what the fuck's going on now? We're just watching the tournament. If you want, we can like go over this like another day, like go through all this stuff.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I just want to say that shouts out to Bill Wellman. He won the tournament. G Comps came in second place, and I think Smooth was in third, if I'm right. I'm not too sure. Shouts out to all the players, you know, top 8. They all did wonderfully. Fuck Maximilian because he got paid the most off this event. You know, it's unfortunate. He got the big bucks, and that's the reality.
Well, he does. Credit to Max. He does, you know, donate to some people. He does do some good with the money he does get. So shout out to him. I don't want to, you know,
no, of course,
poop on the guy entirely. You know, I do think he's disingenuous.
No,
but,
I have to. You know. I have to, and I will. I'll do it for the viewers.
Yeah. All right, guys.
That's just me.
Thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the Joker video we had out, where we discussed Joker 2 for about 40 minutes in depth.
Absolutely terrible. Terrible.
Absolutely terrible. All right, guys. Take care.
Thank you, guys. Take care, guys. Goodbye.